This is Dream Chasers, episode 15, with NIKKI LAGOUROS. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Adam Carswell, and welcome to Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future. On Dream Chasers, we interview individuals with supernatural amounts of potential based on early success in their careers. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's get straight to the interview. Hey guys, this is Adam Carswell, and today I'm joined by NIKKI LAGOUROS. NIKKI is an entrepreneur and a realtor with the Caza group with Keller Williams in Reston. She's originally from New Orleans and moved to the DC area about 10 years ago. Before going full-time into real estate, she was in the field of new construction, building residential homes. NIKKI, thanks for being on the show. And do you have any opening remarks for our listeners?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited. I'm probably the only person who has only listened to a podcast when I got asked to be on a podcast. But now I'm kind of addicted to them. They're really cool. I mean, I can get a great amount of information in a condensed amount of time. I'm digging it. We're
now also honored to know that we're bringing inspiration to the person who's inspiring us.
Oh, well, that's cool. Thanks.
So NIKKI, I think we just kind of touched on it a little bit, but how long have you been in real estate?
So this month actually is my 2-year anniversary.
And what prompted you 2 years ago to take this dive?
You know, I was working in new home sales, and by chance, I met a realtor with Keller Williams Reston in a happy hour situation. And she was like, "What are you doing? Why are you still working for new home sales? You know, you're just trapped in a building for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You could be going out and meeting new people and new buyers, and you just have the personality for it." So I was like, okay, let me give this a try. So I sat in my little trailer, because I was in a trailer selling new construction. I was selling some condos in Sterling, and I got my license through the internet format where you do your 60 hours online. Mm-hmm. And then I got my license in July, tried to do it for myself for about a month. And that was a complete disaster because, salespeople think they can do everything on their own. That's why. And then I met my team lead, Rob Chavez, and the rest was history.
Nice. So would you say when you met Rob, was that kind of when you decided you wanted to take this to the next level?
Yeah, if you've ever met Rob Chavez, he is just like, I don't know where he gets the energy. On the days he doesn't want to do it, I think he does it harder. And he's just full of optimism and great ideas. I always say he's the male version of me because he is just like hustle, hustle, hustle. And then when you can't hustle anymore, dig it out and hustle some more. And I knew this guy was going to help me go to the top of the game.
Well, I hear it in your voice, and there's definitely a lot of passion and emotion behind it. Speaking of emotion, I remember when I watched you speak live, you communicated that using emojis when texting and messaging your clients has been a huge way to open the door to people being transparent with you. Can you tell me a little bit about why you like to use the emojis that you use?
So it's funny because I do most of my conversion from online marketing, right? So online marketing, you're just basically a text number because I don't call people, right? I don't know if it's a fear or because I don't like being called. So I've just taken to texting, which works really well. But texting has no tone. It has no personality. So in order to punch it up a little bit and give it a little bit of love and personality, I favor some of the emojis that are like the heart. The heart is really like one of my most used because it conveys empathy to them. Like, hey, like I get what you're going through. I know what we're doing here. I'm in this with you. I'm going to walk you through this journey. Probably my favorite one is the face, but it has the line for the mouth. Oh yeah, the one that looks back at you and goes, "Really, Adam? Really?" Yeah, that one's my favorite.
The one that's kind of like it's like a straight face.
It's a straight face, has little squinty eyes and a straight mouth. That one's my favorite because you just know you did something and you're just like, ee.
Nice. I know I actually have in our interview notes that we're going to get to your favorite emoji later, but I do want to know maybe one more that kind of pops up when you're typing, because you know how it gives you the most frequently used.
Oh yeah, I have my phone right here. So let me see the most frequently used one. It's the heart, and then it's the crying, laughing emoji.
Okay, nice. So we got laughter, we have love, And then we have seriousness as well.
Yeah, then we have really.
So Nikki, what is your why? Why do you love doing what you're doing?
A big part of my why, I think I covered at another speech that I did, but it's definitely my family, my husband, my kids. They are the reason that I push so hard. I want my daughters to have a strong female role model and know that they can do anything they set their mind to and be self-sufficient in life, not have to depend on anyone. So that's really important to me. But another big why is I grew up in New Orleans. I was super poor. And those memories and that fear of living that life again, it really motivates me to go harder, better, faster than the next guy. Because what people don't realize is in real estate, my dad was in real estate. He was a builder. And when the real estate market dropped out, we had went from being poor to having money back to being dirt poor again. So I think I'm a little more susceptible to knowing that this life is just can be gone in a flash, right? So I try to prepare more. I try to work harder. But something like that will put the fear of God in you.
Absolutely. With that being said, what would you say are some of the downsides to being in real estate and some of the positives?
The downsides are I have to give a lot of time to my clients, a lot of time, because they're essentially making the largest purchase of their life. So it's not like you can, say, great, I got you this, now moving over to this department and have them walk it through. You always have to keep that human element there. And sometimes that human element is needed at 10 o'clock at night when they're having a breakdown about the mortgage or this or that. So I always tell my husband has a pretty stressful job. My husband flies the President of the United States in Marine One. So wow. I would say your job is way more stressful. And last night he said, no, your job is more stressful. He said, my job stops when we land. Your job just keeps on going because the people never stop. But on the flip side, the good is that you help somebody realize what's the biggest American dream we have is to own your own home. And I mean, that's cool when you're on one side of that deal. Or if you sell somebody's home so they can transition to another stage of their life, like having a baby or getting married. And, my whole motto on everything is no matter what's going on, like I just try to take all the stress off of them and just keep it fun. Probably why I use so many emojis. I just want to keep it fun. I want to keep the showings fun. I want to keep the move fun. I just want them to look back at this moment and be like, Nikki got me through that. A-okay.
Nice. Well, I'm definitely having fun on this interview, and it's also fun to know that basically at the rate at which you're moving and doing business, you could take on any job, including flying the president of the United States.
I don't know if they'll let me do that. My husband always says a monkey could fly a helicopter, but I think he's kidding when he says that.
What industry leaders and role models are you inspired by?
I thought about this question a lot, and right now, my broker at Keller Williams Reston, he was told this past year that he has a terminal illness. But when I see him, he comes to work every day. And when I see him, he's the most jovial, happy person, always giving me optimism. And it just made me realize that people love the real estate industry. No matter what's going on in their life, they need to stay connected to it. They need to feel connected to it. Even if they're having the worst day ever, they show up, he shows up, right? And he's optimistic and he makes the rest of us optimistic about our job. And that really inspires me. So if I'm having a down day, I kind of think about my broker and what he's going through. And I'm like, you know what? You got to push through. You got to push through because there's days that other people can't push through. My boss, Rob, he definitely inspires me because he took nothing but an idea and made it into the Caza group, which were number 50 in the whole company of Keller Williams. And there's over 200,000 agents and teams. And he has a ton of rental properties, which will set him up for retirement. But the thing that inspires me most about him is that he genuinely cares about making each agent successful. Like not only in the job of real estate, but in our private lives for passive income, for our home life. Like he genuinely cares about each one of us as a whole, as a person. And, you don't find that every day with your boss.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge benefit to have someone like him in your corner. It keeps you inspired and it keeps you motivated to continue to be successful.
Absolutely. When you feel like somebody cares about you and is willing to go hard for you, you want to go hard for them back.
That's right. So what do you do for personal inspiration?
Personal inspiration. So I wish I was more of kind of a kumbaya
I was going to
person.
say, it's okay if you're not a meditator or a yogi.
I'm not. I know Janice meditates, and I love Janice. Like maybe she'll invite me over to meditate. We can get together and do kumbaya songs or something. I don't know.
I'll join in on that.
See, there we can like. Anyway. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about industry leaders, right? I try to figure out like, what are they doing? Is there something cutting edge out? How are they doing it better? How can I do it better? I try to model some of my practices and my systems off of what I'm seeing there. And I'll try anything once, right? I think Rob will tell you I've tried anything and everything just once, to the point where he had to pare me down. But, there's so much good material on the internet to read to get ahead, videos and books, and there's so many great ideas out there. That's kind of like what I love about this business is you never have it all figured out. There's always going to be something tomorrow that I learned that I didn't know today and the next day, and that's exciting.
Yeah, an interesting point of view and something that really made me chuckle I heard the other day. And I think his personality, from what I can see, does line up similarly with yours. Grant Cardone was on an interview. And are you familiar with Grant Cardone?
Oh, yeah, I know Grant.
And so somebody kind of asked him, what do you do for meditation, or kind of a similar question to what I just asked you. And he's like, honestly, I tried meditating. When I'm there, I don't know whether to sit in silence for 5 minutes, 25 minutes. He's like, I get distracted. I get bored. He's like, you know what? While everyone else is meditating, I'm out there doing things. I'm doing it. And I'm like, that sounds like Nikki.
Do you know what my dad's motto was? So you didn't ask me, but my dad is, I would have to say my mom and my dad are definitely an inspiration for me. My dad came to this country when he was young. He jumped ship because he was a merchant marine in Duluth, Minnesota, and he had $2 in his pocket. Somehow he got a bus ticket to New York City, met my mom. They moved to New Orleans and they started a business, the two of them. And he was extremely successful once they kind of found all the broken pieces and put them back together. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of ups and downs, but he always said, you'll sleep when you're dead, Nikki. You'll sleep when you're dead. Go.
That's right. So was he from Greece?
He was from Greece. Yeah, he's Greek, and he's from a little island called Tinos, which nobody ever goes to, right next to Mykonos. But it's a really cool island, very spiritual island.
Nice. It sounds like you've been there.
I have. I've been there, summers when I was a kid, and I took my kids. It's a fantastic place. The only problem is you need a good 2 weeks to spend there, and they don't give that out in real estate.
That's true. Where do you see yourself in 3 years?
So 3 years, this is my lofty goal. I want you to think of Reston Real Estate and then be like, Nikki. That's it.
Okay.
Nikki and Bob and John and Karen, right? Reston Real Estate and Nikki. I want to dominate this market, and I have the people in my corner to do that.
I'm going to help you do that, because as I was working out this morning, I was like, you know what? I got an interview coming up with Nikki. And when I post these podcasts, it's kind of like Nikki Lagouros, and then under your name, it'll say realtor or blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put the real estate queen of Reston, Virginia. So that'll be under there. We're going to start forecasting for you.
Yes. And hopefully with that, I can build a team underneath me that will just propel us. I really want to start making other agents successful. I think, I found a little kind of sweet spot with that online marketing, and I want to start teaching other people how to do that.
Perfect. I got you. What advice do you have for young real estate professionals? And can you give an example of something that you wish you would have done differently looking back?
Absolutely. Don't ever burn a bridge. Don't ever burn a bridge, no matter what the other agent is doing, saying, acting. Just keep it above board and so professional, because this community, you don't think it's small because there's 27,000 realtors in the DC metro area. I promise you're going to see that same realtor 20 more times in your career. Keep it professional. Keep it upbeat. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Thank you. Is that something that maybe you did in the past that you regret?
Yeah, I definitely was a little bit of a hothead coming into this, right? And Rob had to sit me down and say, you know what? You got to cool it, and you got to You got to take a step back and realize that this isn't about you. It's about the customer, and you got to keep yourself together because everybody knows everybody. And I was like, okay, got it.
Nice. Thank you for that advice. So we've got our 3 fun questions coming up here to close out the interview, Nikki. We already touched on one. The other 2, though, we'll go through them in this order. What is your favorite animal, your favorite month out of the year, and your favorite emoji?
So my favorite animal is, and you're going to laugh when I tell you this, it's a honey badger. And it's the honey badger from Randall's Animals.
Nice. I mean, is that the one that's referenced and very popular on YouTube?
Yes, yes. All right. Okay. Honey badger don't. Anyways.
Yeah.
So because I go hard. I don't care what obstacles are in the way. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. And I'm going to come out on top. That's my thinking. I don't think another way. July is my favorite month because my parents' birthdays are both in July. It's the month I started seeing my husband. And it's summer, which I love. I love to be hot. And the emoji, my favorite emoji, even though I use those other ones, has to be the little blonde girl shrugging her arms up in the air like, oh, well.
Have you, I'm sure you've had to use that one a few times. It's just not in your most frequently used.
You know, there's so many my most frequently used. I'm looking down at it right now. There's even a little piggy in there, so I don't know how to put that in there.
It's kind of like making me want to look at mine right now and see like what.
You should. What are your top 3?
I'm going to see. Yeah. I'm really curious. So I've got the laughing emoji.
Mm-hmm.
I have the stars, the 3 stars.
Yeah.
Ever use that one?
I don't. Maybe I should.
I'll tell you more about the 3 stars in a moment. And then I have the heart as well, which is, I think you're right. That really transfers a lot of empathy and emotion, and it lets whoever you're communicating with know that you're here.
Agreed.
The stars, I like the stars because it's kind of like waving the magic wand kind of effect on whatever you say. So it's like, hey, Nikki, we're going to have an interview today. Hey, Nikki, we're going to have an interview today with the stars on it. It's like, ooh, magical interview.
Yeah, I'm gonna start putting that in my repertoire.
I guess it's like sprinkles on a cake or ice cream.
Who doesn't love sprinkles?
Exactly. Perfect. Well, Nikki, thank you again for joining me. We made it through all of the questions, which is something that I don't always succeed in doing with whoever I'm interviewing. So congratulations on that. You get another W under your belt. Do you have any closing comments for the listeners?
You know, if you're in this industry, don't get discouraged. Stuff happens every day that kind of knocks me down. Really, it's all just how you react to it. So just keep your decorum, keep your chin up, and just fight harder than the person sitting next to you, and you're going to make it. And what's a way that individuals listening can follow up with you and get in touch with you? Yeah, so you can always text me. I'm the texting queen. My number is 910-382-0029. Or you can email me at the Caza Group. It's Nikki, NIKKI, at the Caza Group, THECAZA group.com. Perfect. All right, Nikki, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all in the next episode. Thanks, Adam.